Hi guys, so this is a feedback review video of the new application that has been uploaded this evening. So I'm doing this video instead of the normal write-up so that I can share my screen and talk about it. So what I'll be doing, I'll be interchanging between our own view and the Flutterwave view as I'm discussing different features. So I'll look at the feature on ours and I'll also go to the feature on Flutterwave to talk about it. So starting with the home page, the dashboard page. Yeah, this is fine. So we have our four widgets for success and failed transactions daily and weekly. But you can see here at the top here, it just says transactions, 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 transactions. So I think the top row is daily and the bottom row is whether it's weekly or monthly. So can you please check, and have the fields updated accordingly. For the four widgets down here, for the three widgets, can you make it four? Make each box smaller or make them four. I will share with you the information that I want us to put in there. So basically, it should just be a small write-up and a call to action button to one of the features on the left here. So very similar to what Filter we have here. So just a small write-up. So a call to action to payment link, a call to action to create invoice, a call to action to add products, and maybe our last one will be a call to action to add a customer. So that's what we'll be doing, right? Good. So back to us now. So the homepage looks okay. The homepage looks good. So long as the transactions and the data are updating accordingly. Now to transactions. So yes, I like this, but the thing is there are no transactions in here. So I'm unable to test it. So if I clear, and Edward, you might want to look into this. So if I clear, I expect it that it's pulling data from the database already, but it's not pulling any data, so I'm unable to review this. So can you check to see what's up with this? Now, if I go to, let's flip to the transactions page on Flutterwave. So let's just see what features are there, and if we are happy with the features on our own page. Yeah, so there are no features on. There's no transactions on their own page as well. So let me leave that. Let's move on. Customers. Yeah, so I hit the customers tab. Nice, brilliant. So name, email, phone number, created at, updated at, action, brilliant. All information printed here about customers. Fantastic. We can update this at a later date. But when I create a new customer, so if I hit the tab create customer, so I use my name, Lekon at transcend.com, and phone number. If I hit the create customer button, it just stays. So nothing happens here. I don't know why. So we might want to check that out. I don't know why. I hit the create. It just update shows like it's making an update, but I don't get any. The form doesn't close. And if I leave this, back to the history page, there is no entry in the table. So please check what's up with that really. Another thing I want to mention, can we have some consistency in the buttons? Orange is not one of our brand colors, so let's keep it simple. Let's use the color on the X on our logo. Let's use that color theme, for all buttons across board. Now, payments. So we have invoices, payment links, pay invoice, bill payments, point of sale. I will start with payment links. I'll come back to invoice because I think that's going to take maybe longer. So I'll start with payment links. So the function of the payment links menu is to be able to send a link to a customer, right? The payment should be done at the customer end. Now, if I come here to add new, it will ask me for the email. I'll put my email, amount 123. I did mention the currency part. All right, Edward. We need to fix that, because we're just looking at digits here. There's a currency, so the currency needs to be updated. And that currency field is part of what we pass when we are sending the payload to the payment gateway. So for every amount, in every aspect of this platform, there has to be the currency field. It should be a drop down because there might be different currencies that we'll be using. Okay, so again, amount, description, making a test payment link, and I generate the payment link. Fine. So payment link generated successfully. All right, it is added to the history page. So this is it, payment link 8013, blah, blah, blah. Now, anytime you click in the link, it should not show here the payment details, the payment form, right? It's a payment link. The form should be at the customer side. So all this needs to show here is the payment link details, the email address, amount, currency, description, maybe any reference IDs with respect to the payment link. This pay now field or this pay now form should not be part of the payment link generator. So we need to remodify that and update. Now I'll go to pay invoice. So pay invoice, on the other hand, is the right there and then payment that requires the card details or the card form to be present. So let's look at this again, payment collection. So again, consistency in the colors used for all buttons. So we add a new, again, we update the currency. Please make sure this is done, 345. Description, payment for conference room, time, place, profile. So I initiate a new payment, pay now, payment collection generated successfully. Now, at the point where you initiate a new payment, it needs to show the payment form. So pretty much what we have done on payment link is what should have been done here, because this is where you are collecting the payments instantaneously. So at the point where we hit the button pay now, it now needs to open up the form that has the card details and that you use to input the card details. So that is missing here. So rather, the pay link is created in the table here, and so let's hit this and see what comes up. So here I'm getting a 404 page here. So again, this needs to be fixed. So ideally, if you hit this link here, what you should do is open the payment details page for that transaction. Shows you the description, the amount, the status, and then the payment form should be part of that. So that is what we have done in payment links is what should have been done here for payment collections. So please, it's important that you make that change, make the swap, and have that fixed. So again, let's ensure that there's a currency field in there, and we are capturing the currency of the transaction. So bill payments and point of sale, there's nothing there for now. Let's now do invoices. So if I hit the invoices tab, so again, the transaction history page, so no invoices have been created. Now, if I come here to hit the create invoice button on the top right, we have this form here, right? And this is good. So for this, it's important that we see side by side how the invoices is implemented in Flutterwave. So let me go back and log in on Flutterwave again. Just give me a second. Oh boy. Right, so while we're waiting for that to load, so I see you implemented three tabs here. So the first is your info, right? So you need to select the customer name. So I assume it's pulling this information from the customer's database because I haven't been able to select anything. So I think let's make this a bit flexible whereby you can either select from the customer's database or you can type in a new customer name here. And once you are done with the customer name and the email and you hit next, it saves that information into the customer database. So let's have that flexibility with respect to how you fill those forms as well. So the next thing is the company information. So this is the company you are billing for the invoice, which is fine. Company email, company name, email, billing address, country, state, fine. So you do all of that, hit next. But this is the part that I wanted to review, because here you have the invoice title, due date, currency ID. So currency ID, again, we need the fields that we can select here. There's no currency that can be selected. Item description, quantity. So here it's assuming that there's only one item that can be added. But if you check the way it was implemented on Flutterwave, you can add multiple lines to that invoice because there can't only be one line. So my system is a bit slow now. I can't get the OTP for Flutterwave, but I recommend that you go back and check how it was done on Flutterwave. And this is the last part, the invoice information part, right? This is the last part. So just figure out how you can add multiple lines to the invoice, right? Which now generates the total amount. So because I wasn't able to, one, select the customer name, and two, select the currency, I wasn't able to complete the process of imputing or creating an invoice. So I can't see how it's done. So maybe we would have to check with Yasser in the morning and let him show us how it's done. My expectation is that once you filled out all of this information, it would show you an invoice document, right, with an invoice number generated. That invoice can now be emailed to a customer, or we can now pay that invoice, right, with the pay invoice button, right, and it generates or it loads the payment gateway page. So that's that for invoices. I'll go to settings quickly. When I hit the profile button, I also noticed that, yeah, so this is what I get, right? There's some error exception for profile. I don't know why, so we need to fix that. I'll go back to the main menu. So settings again. So the business profile and settlement account fields or menus, it doesn't point anywhere. So once you click it, nothing happens. Settlement account, once you click, nothing happens. For developers, like I said, let's move the developers menu further down below and almost draw a line so that, it kind of like separates the developers menu from the normal admin menu. We don't want people going into developers always. So this is where we have the API keys. So once I click the API keys, again, I have this exception menu, error menu, so that also needs to be fixed. Here we should be able to see the test APIs, the client ID, the test APIs, and the live APIs. Then here, like I mentioned, we also want to show the merchant ID in that area as well. So the developer section as well hasn't been fully implemented, so we need to try and finish that quickly. The last but not the least, on the top right here, my profile, referral, support, merchant ID, all of these don't point anywhere. So we need to tidy that up. Now, part of the information that is submitted in settings, for the business profile is the business logo. And that business logo for the merchant, right, is what should be on the top left here, not Transcend, right? So we want the page to be branded in the format or in the name of the merchant. So once the merchant uploads their business profile and their logo is uploaded, right, it changes. So we can leave Transcend as the default, but we should set this up such that once the merchant logo is uploaded or is updated on the profile, it instantly replaces the Transcend logo on the left here, right? And we can figure out, or we can take out the image on the right hand side here. I don't think it's necessary once we have the image on the left hand side. So those are my observations for now, at least for this early phase, which we need to get done. Very, very important. So again, so last but not the least, Edward, you need to check that all links are integrated to the payment gateway, right? So for invoices, payment links, pay invoice, we need to integrate all of that into the payment gateway. So that's it for me. Very well done, guys. Thank you so much, Yasser. I think this is looking, it's turning out to be very good. So we just need to tidy up and finish up the last few bits. So yes, before I go, last but not the least, we will be giving you the partner logos. So the partner logos need to feature at the bottom left here, whereby we are saying the platform is powered by the Mastercard Payment Gateway Service (MPGS) and the bank logo, our partner bank in that country. So that should be uploaded and set up here, so that every page, so long as this menu is showing, we can see that information at the bottom there. So once all of this is done, we now need to, well, at the headboard, you now need to check that all the email templates are in line and consistent with the way we want them to look and feel. But overall, very good. I'll log out. So let's go to the client login page. So we'll need to rebrand this. The name of the product we put somewhere, and we also want some kind of branding here. So I'm thinking this image on the left hand side here, can it be a loop whereby it's pulling three different images and just interchanging them every few seconds, so that we can promote us, promote our partners who are really part of this product, part of this application. So that's it for me, guys. Thank you, and yeah, hopefully we can all review this and take it forward from there. Thank you.